Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a so-so production. We're doing it on Friday, March the 15th, 2024. Glad you made it. Thank you very much for joining me. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram and on YouTube and on patreon.com/RobSadri. Dropped every Wednesday and Friday. Let's go. If you've been with me from the get-go, thank you very much for all the love and support. Sending it right back to you wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's here in Canada, down south in the United States, over there in Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, the Caribbean Islands, Jamaica, Wagwan, Japan, Zimbabwe, Senegal, over there, and Istanbul, Turkey. What's going on over there? Hello. United Arab Emirates. What's going on in South Korea? And everywhere else too. How you doing? Good? All right, good. Then we're all on the same page. Essentially, it's a global syndicate. It's a global gang. It's a little fun hang that we have twice a week, shooting the shit, having the funs. I hope you're having fun. Whatever you're doing out there, I hope you're having fun. A lot of exciting things are happening. Today's going to be it's an extra loose day because it's Friday. It is we're halfway through the month. Spring is right around the corner, baby. A few more days. Spring is right around the corner, and I'm excited. But let's just today's an extra loose day. It's Friday. Your boys been at it. We're doing it's good. Caffeinated as per usual, but that's nothing outside the norm. And let's just get into it, shall we? What have I noticed as of late that's been catching my attention? We'll get right into it. Oh, it's another it's Friday, baby. Can we just take a second? It is Friday. Before we get into it. Great to be here with you today. It's great to be here with you today. Great to be here with you today. Talking about robots. Let's get it going. Figure 01. It's a beautiful robot powered by AI, powered by ChatGPT. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but man, we are making strides. Robots are a thing and it's happening quick and fast. Keep making them better. There's so many companies out there. Figure 1, I believe they're working with OpenAI and this thing is just spitting back thoughts, thinking, doing tasks like handing you fruits and vegetables, cleaning the dishes, putting things away, tucking things in, putting things in, knowing when to put it in and knowing when to pull it out. This thing knows and it feels good. I don't know if you've seen the robot or not, but we're making strides, man. I'm excited, but that's the thing I've just been thinking of. There's so many of them coming around and we're competing with each other, which is good because healthy competition leads to more innovation and technology and betterment of life quality overall. I think China's making a ton of robots, then we're making a ton of robots. The Europeans making a ton. Everybody's making robots. The robots are the shit right now. It's gonna be the next best thing. Next 10 years, a lot of things are gonna be automated. A lot of things are gonna get taken over by robots, and hopefully we'll deal with it. We'll figure out what to do when we get there. But the things that I want to do, while we're still in the gray zone, we're still in the murky waters of where are we, what are we doing, how do we deal with these new entities that are amongst us now. I like to take them out for a spin, a couple of them. These are the places I like to take my Figure 1 robot or the robots built by Tesla or the robots built by, Boston Dynamics, any of these guys. I just want them to be powered by AI, get a little bit of that ChatGPT in that bitch. I want to take him to the casino. That's what I want to do. I want to sit him down at a poker table and just watch him play for me. That's what I like to take him out to the casino. Because right now there are no rules that say you can't take your robot to the casino. Robot lives matters. It's my robot. I'll do what I want with it. Do I need to let me know. Let me just know. Do I need to? If you see it's a robot, just let me know in the comments. If you work at a casino, if you work for your big casino or even a small casino, can I bring my robot in? You're like, you can't use, I don't know them rules, But it's different than taking a phone. It's different than taking an earpiece. It's different than putting putting a string of pearls up your butt and waiting for somebody to send you signals and let you know when to bet and when to say, it's enough for me. So yeah, instead of having to resort to anal beads and vaginal beads through traditional means of getting by in the world, now's the time. I'm thinking right now, before we calm down and say, oh, no more robots are allowed in the casino. I'd like to take, that's one place I'd like to take them to. Now, if you're coming in and saying, no, it's a legitimate, I see that it's a robot, I can't let you in, sir. You don't need an ID. It's not an age limit thing, so that's not your issue. You're discriminating, man. I'm trying to bring my robot, my AI powered robot into the casino, and you're just coming up with all these made up arbitrary rules that, we don't care for them kinds. It's like, yo, you're, man. And if that's the case, I need one of them robots, figure one, Tesla bots. Boston Dynamics, again, merge them with the AI, with the language skills and with the thought process, merge them with that, and then put a nice, let's get some bees in there, let's create some synthetic skin, let's put on some makeup on this bitch and make it look like a human being, and I want to roll into a casino with my bot fiance. You don't know, we're in Vegas, we could get married any day, dude. It's Vegas, we're eloping. Everybody's happy for us. Family supportive, friends also very supportive, strangers extremely supportive. And yes, we're excited to, we're excited to make love as a married couple. But before we do that, you don't need to ask whether or not, yes, those legs are fire. Yes, her hips are fucking banging. Yes. She will not stop. She won't stop. Literally can't unless the battery runs up. But she's fully charged, bro. And I'll have her plugged in, so don't you worry about her running low on juice. But let us sit at this, table and play a little bit poker like proper, respectable members of society. If we can, that's one place I'd like to take them. But that's just me. Where's the first place you're gonna take your robot to? I'm gonna take it to work, lame. Get another robot, put him or her in the workforce. Take one with you to the casino. That's what I want. Or I'll take my robot. If you're not gonna let me take my robot to the casino, then I'm taking my robot to the stock exchange. My AI chat GPT powered robot. I'm taking his beautiful ass or her beautiful ass or its beautiful ass. It's got an ass. We're going to the stock market, the stock exchange. I'm not quite sure how to get in, but I think my bot will do just well in that sort of, just seeing numbers, seeing fucking graphs and people yelling and whistling and buying and selling. God, we're gonna do great in the market together. The sky's the limit, and that's what it is, baby. It's fucking robot time. Yeah, we do got to think about the things that are getting automated very quickly in the next 5 to 10 years, because it's right there. Oh man, I'm excited, but I'm also it's good to think ahead. Not for me personally, not for everybody else. Okay, for me too, but for everybody else and me. For us. We're doing this for us, I think. But ladies and gents, that's just what it is. Let's get into it. I like to say, ladies, I've been thinking about you as always, and I came up with a great product out there. If you're a lady, if you're a female lady, vaginal, bleeding once a month, and you're like, man, it's good that I bleed and I cleanse the cycle, I gets it out of my system, take what I need, give back what I don't want. But I wish I had a little bit more control for the sake of getting out of situations, because I thought about it, I'm like, man, there's, if I were a lady, if I could bleed from my vag once a month, I would at least for once a month use that as an excuse to get out of a lot of situations and circumstances. And that's great and dandy, fine. Yes, you can do it once a month during a particular set of days of the, it's set, there's no, but what if I told you can have control? What if I told you ladies, what if I told you can get out of any situation with a snap of a finger, on demand? Making it so it appears as if you're bleeding from the vag and having your period. You're like, but I can't control my period. I wish, Rob, I wish I could get out of any situation, any circumstance that I wanted and just be like, oh, sorry, vaginal bleeding session. I thought about it, ladies. You don't need to technically bleed from the vag to get out of a situation and blame it on your bleeding, because other people don't know when you are on and when you're off. That's why I went out there, did a lot of research, did a lot of testing, did a lot of experiments, and I came up with the revolutionary idea of creating tomatoes, special tomatoes. Yeah, that's right, not just any regular tomato that you could buy at the grocery store. I'm not talking about the regular tomatoes that you run into at the farmer's market, just trying to, buy a little bit of, you see a couple of tomatoes, just buy a little lemonade stand, trying to buy a couple of lemonades and sip on that. But no, not talking about those tomatoes. I'm not talking about the tomatoes that are out there trying to get dried up in the sun. No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about specialized tomatoes. The ones that are ripe enough but not too ripe for you to handle and take with you anywhere you like. Uncomfortable in a situation, whip it out. Ideally, you'd be wearing white pants and you stuff it in your pants and you give yourself a little, you give your crotch a little squeeze, and all of a sudden, oh, there you go. Pop goes the old tomato, and now it looks like you're bleeding from the vagina. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to leave this meeting right now because it seems to me that I'm bleeding from the vag. And there you go. Mr. Smith is completely understanding and he'll let you go and you can reschedule, no problem. Come back when you're ready. We got you, Jen. Take your kids to the ballpark because they got a baseball game. Fantastic. The baseball game's fun and great, but it's done and over with, and all the other moms are like, oh, let's get together and give the kids little drinks and Pop-Tarts and celebrate. But you're a go-getter out there. You don't have time for this bullshit. Yes, baseball was fun, but it's time to get to the hustle and grind of life that is you. So there you go. Take a, and when nobody's paying attention, take a beautiful tomato, specially made tomato, with the most precise of technologies out there, powered by AI, ChatGPT, and who knows what else, and stuff it in your pants. Again, ideally light colored pants. Ideally you're wearing white, and go ahead and give your crotchal area a nice squeeze. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, ladies. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to take little Johnny back home. We got a lot of things to take care of, and I'm also happens to be that time of the month, and I'm bleeding. And that's the beauty of life. You can innovate. You can actually come up with ideas. You can, and that's what I did. So I like to just, where would you get these tomatoes from? Just they'll be released soon. Don't worry about it. And again, you can't do this shit with regular tomatoes. Okay, so don't go around trying to stuff your pants with regular tomatoes out there. All right, fine. I'm feeling generous. You could totally do it with regular tomatoes. You could literally get out of any situation if you just take regular tomatoes and stuff it down your light colored pants and give your crotchal region a nice squeeze, and there you go. I'm sorry, I can't do banking right now. I do apologize. In the middle of a test drive. Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to make this test drive a little bit longer. I'm gonna have to drop by the mall, do a little bit of shopping, get some new clothes. It appears as though I'm bleeding from the vag. Oh, no problem. We can accommodate. So there you go. Extend your test drive experience. Get out of your soccer mom meeting. Get out of that boring book club that you're in. All right, fine. It's exhilarating. The book club is pretty fucking fine. You do a couple of lines, you drink a little bit, you read a couple of chapters. Next thing you know, you're already having fun. So do whatever you like, but all I'm saying is you have options. If you want to leave a circumstance behind, if you want to leave a situation, an awkward date, tomato in the crotch. Job interview that's not going well, guess what? Tomato in the crotch. It's holiday season, love your family, yeah? Nice. But a few hours it's plenty enough, isn't it? There you go. Tomatoes in the crotch. I'm just saying, not according to your own life standards and needs and wants and desires, use with your own discretion. That's what I'm saying. Enjoy out there. I came up with it. You're welcome. Sip to the gang. It must have been very frustrating because this must have happened at one point when Batman was out there, hunting for a place, hunting for a little location, hunting for a little real estate. And he tells his real estate agent, I like a little bat cave. His real estate agent hears him and he's like, I got you, Batman, no problem. One bat cave coming up. And then, a few months goes by, does his research, comes back, buys Batman a nice location. She takes him there and they get inside, and all of a sudden, Batman's looking around, and it's just a large complex. It's an extremely large home, acres of land, but it's got a nice, beautiful build. But the inside of the building is equipped with baseball gear, baseball bats, baseball cages, batting cages. And it must have been awkward for them to have that conversation, because Batman's like, what's going on? What's going on there, Chad? I specifically asked you for a bat cave. What is this? And Chad's like, well, Batman, you said, yes, exactly. You said bat cave. I thought you were a baseball enthusiast. And being a baseball enthusiast and all that, I thought I'd get you a bat cave. Clearly, you said bat cave. Here's a cave. It's kind of like a man cave, but a bat cave. I get it. Manly men who like sports and baseball and shit. And there you go. There's a cave for you. Lots of bats, a pitching area. Lots of balls coming in. Plenty of bats to pick up and bat around. Do as you wish. And yeah, so that must have been awkward for them. How long did Batman stay in that bat cave? Who knows? Did he get good at baseball? Was he always good at baseball? Maybe he was the best at baseball. Who knows? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what's going on in and around the world, man? I'll say this, it is, lots of exciting things are happening. I'll say this. Apparently rats got into some police station down south in the United States. I forget where, but the police station was old, had a little bit of, and they had confiscated a lot of weed. They confiscated a lot of marijuana, if you will. Confiscated a little bit of the old devil's lettuce. Confiscated a little bit of that ganja. And the old building was old. And rats got inside the building and started eating the marijuana. Apparently they got high, which was pretty cool, which is pretty nice. I'm not sure what happened to these rats. One could only extrapolate from his or her own experience. I'm guessing they're way more relaxed now. These rats are friendlier, if anything. These rats are probably a little bit more mellow. These rats are probably a little bit, they're probably getting the munchies right now. They're probably, at this point, they're probably a little bit hungry right now. So it's nice to find a little bit of cheese, just a little bit of cheese. So that is actually a great, if you wanna, cause that's the thing, man, we always like, it's man versus nature. Humans versus nature. But it's not, is it? It's not versus, it's cooperating, it's working together. So it is nice to see that other animals are also enjoying weed. Maybe that's the thing. Next time you see a rat, instead of freaking out, maybe roll them a joint. Instead of getting a rat trap and worrying about, oh my God, what about all the diseases they carry over? What about all this, that, and the other? It's like, dude, when you spark up a bong, when the rats are right there by your side, put it up to its lips, and let them take a hit or two or three, pass it around, and then you take yours and have a little bit of fun with it. And that's the thing. People are always like, oh, how do I become like a Disney princess? Why do Disney princesses or cartoon characters always get the best of communicating with animals and creatures? And it's right there for you. Take advantage. Give them a little bit of, give them whatever you like. Give them a little bit of kratom. Here, that's a thing nowadays. A lot of it, I don't even know what it is, but it's kratom. Apparently, I don't know what it does. I don't know what it is, but give them a little bit of kratom. They like the weeds. Maybe they'll like the kratom. Who knows? But that's just rats getting high. I like animals that get high, because it just reminds us that it's not just us. We're not alone in this together. We are all, little creatures that enjoy a little bit of fun, a little bit of relaxation every now and again. But it's nice. Pass it around, have fun with it. I don't even know what we're talking about right now, but it's good to be here amongst you, beautiful folks. Squeeze your tits, scratch your nuts, and let's have some fun. 103-year-old Italian lady in Italy was pulled over for driving dangerously. This lady's 103 years old. She was in a small town, driving around late at night, got pulled over for dangerous driving. Her license was apparently expired. And it got me to think, do I believe old people should be driving? Initially, I've had my thoughts, but this is one of those things where the people are like, what was one thought that you had in the past that you changed in the not so distant recent past, present, future, whatever the fuck. People are like, man, is there a thought that you had that you changed? And yes, previously I thought, when I was a little bit, a little bit younger, like, maybe about a year ago, maybe about 2 years ago. If you ask me if old people could drive, I say no. Past a certain age, old people can drive. They shouldn't drive. But as I'm getting little by little, getting a little bit of life experience myself, putting a couple of notches in my own belt as well. I like to say, you know what? I've had a change of heart. This is one thing that I'm going complete. And I'll say this: yes, old people should completely be able to drive, and I don't care how dangerous it is. I don't care how reckless they get. I don't care that they can't see I don't care that they're so tiny that they can't see what's in front of them. I don't care. I don't care if their glasses are thick. I don't care that they're wearing beer mugs for glasses. I don't care if she's got that, if she's got that cataracts. I don't care, dude. If she's got a retina, if it's a shriveled up little raisin in her eye socket, resembling what used to be an ice ball, I'll still let it fly, dude. So old people driving, yes. Driving dangerously, yes, of course. I get it, dude. It's the end of you don't have time for this shit. I actually, you know what? If anybody should be allowed to drive dangerously, it's older people. Because I get it, dude. Time is of the essence. You don't have much time left. You got to get to places. You got friends to meet. Few of them are dropping quick, dude. Bang, bang, bang. Just dropping, gotta go make some time to see Lucy. Gotta go make some time to see, Tommy or whoever. People are, and that's what it is. So yes, but ideally, I like to see them put a little bit of, use that dangerous driving skills to good use. I don't want them to just waste it. If we could just give them, if we could give old people, like if you're like 80 and above, if we could give you go-karts instead, or like bumper cars, or cars, cars that are able to take a couple of hits here and there and you won't mind so much. Give them a couple of those bumper cars and drop them off, dude. Drop them off in locations where we're having a couple of issues or problems. I'm not saying nothing, but you got a couple of terrorists. Drop them off in an area. Drop them off in an area where there's, you got a little bit of Hamas in a place. Just drop them off in an area. Let a couple of old ladies drive late at night, and next thing you know, it's less problematic for everybody. You've got, I don't know what you got. You got any circumstances that you need a getaway driver? Let's go. Put grandma behind the wheel. Why not? You gotta make a delivery real quick across town. Grandma. You know why? Less sus. That's why. Nobody's gonna pull over grandma. Well, okay, in this case, she got pulled over. You know what I mean. I don't even know what I mean. But the point is, it's just use them. It's use them wisely. They're great. They don't have time for chit chat. They don't have time for your bullshit. They're in it to win it, man. And time's of the essence. So that's what I say. Put old people behind the wheel more so. If they're driving dangerously, I think it's just it's not that they're driving dangerously. It's where are they driving? That's the thing. Give them spaces for them to drive. That's okay for them to drive dangerously. You know what I mean? Drop them off in the middle of the desert. Let them fucking get in a dune buggy and just fucking run wild. Why not? Give them one of those cars that can flip over and still drive. Grandma's driving around upside down for 6 hours. Let's go. She could use a little bit of she could use that blood in her head at that point. I'm assuming. So shout out to the Italian lady getting booked by the Popo. Free granny, dude. Free granny. But that's just something that I saw that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you've got a grandma or a grandpa that you're like, oh man, he shouldn't drive, or it's not that he shouldn't, it's that where is he driving? Could we make good use of people? Instead of quickly jumping to conclusions and being a fucking ageist, dude, I'm sick and tired of this shit. Drop them off in places where there are a few problems and they'll gladly take care of it, if you know what I mean. I think. Good times. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, it's Friday. One exciting piece of, it's exciting in the sense that it's, well, we'll get into, caught my attention. I'm sure it's caught a lot of your attention as well out there. It's not like, I've heard of this, but it got my attention. I want to bring it up with you guys in case you know what's going on. If you know what's going on, leave a comment and we'll get into it. If you don't know, let's try to figure it out together. I'm just trying to help out people, myself included, as good, law-abiding citizens and just good, just good people coming together doing it. I just don't like consumers, good people who are working hard for their doll hairs getting ripped off. What am I talking about? Talking about as of late, I'm not sure if you've heard, but maybe you have. I'm pretty sure you have. I'm just gonna go ahead and say you have. And if you haven't, well, you're hearing it right now. I'm talking about Boeing, Boeing airplanes, the Boeing company. They make more than airplanes, but they're into the airplane business as well. A Boeing whistleblower essentially got murked over the past few days, I think. I'm not quite sure when it happened, but allegedly a Boeing whistleblower who was whistling and blowing the whistle as whistleblowers do, and he raised some concerns about safety procedures at Boeing, saying that they might need to, I don't know exactly what he said, but he said this thing and he blew a whistle and he was due in court. He had been going to court, I think, and he was due in court again. Next thing you know, they found him somewhere. I don't know where they found him. They found him in his car with a alleged self-inflicted gunshot wound, and that is peculiar, my friend. This calls for Detective Rob Sadri to step in and examine the case. Excuse me. You think you can get away with this shit? You think you can just go ahead and play around with the whistleblowers, and you think you could just furious right now. You think you can just all willy-nilly go out there and allegedly inflict self-inflicted gunshot wounds to someone's face or body and just dip? You think you can just... I'm asking all the questions now. Sit down. We're gonna figure this out together, man. First of all, let's take this back. Let's just, before Detective Rob Sadri gets going, let us take a step back and perhaps another step back and ask ourselves a question or two. Like, first of all, does this case have anything to do with the Epstein case? Just putting it out there, not saying it does, but peculiar is peculiar. Wagwan, what's going on over there? Nothing to do with the Epstein case, you say, huh? Well, what about the Obama's chef? What happened to that fella? Self-inflicted drownage in a very shallow body of water. Peculiar. Interesting. You don't say. And now, all of a sudden, a whistleblower who likes to whistle and blow, is all of a sudden raising concerns and questions about safety security procedures, and he's due in court and he's fucking giddy about it too. Very happy fella. All of a sudden found in his car. Alleged self-inflicted. Hold on a second. Who's involved? How's this all happening? Is it the same? Okay, because this is what I'm concerned with. Many things that I'm concerned about. First and foremost, is it one company that does these hits? Like, is there like a Wetworks? Is there like a Wet Jobs, Wetworks website, or is there a phone number that you can reach out to procure these services? Or is it just, how do you find the people for? Is it one company that does the hits? Is it one company that's done or is it a private company is what I'm wondering? or is it just private individual? Is it just private entity? Are you dealing with one individual? Is it separate? It's Hillary Clinton, isn't it? It's Hillary, isn't it? It's not what I said. That's what I'm just putting it out there. Who is it then? Who is it then? She shows up with them, with the blue. She shows up with one of those blue dress pantsuit thingies, and people just drop. God, pantsuit. Oh, my heart. It's just, oh God. So who is it? If not her, then who? Is it one company? How do you? Because this is the thing. That's the thing. Like, it's not easy procuring these services. If you want wet works, if you want, because like one, you gotta go through so many things. They gotta be trustworthy. They gotta be good at their jobs. First things, so you can't just go like find a novice or a newbie. I'd be like, here, I got this person that needs to be taken care. And again, I'm looking out for the consumers out there. Let's say you need to take care of somebody out there. How do you price these things out? How much does it go for? You know what I mean? Because like, how much does an Epstein go for? You know what I like? That sort of like strangulation by a giant male. And you need to have a couple of cameras disconnected. How much does that cost? Are we talking? Is it 10 to 50K? Is it 50 to 100? Because I don't know. I like to be informed, and I like the people out there to be informed, so that you're not getting ripped off out there. Because you might be out there just wanting to take care of something very little, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're thousands of dollars are out of your pocket, man. You spend way too much, dude. You're getting ripped off, man. You could have got that same service down at the docks with the beautiful fellas wearing a couple of hats or whatever. I don't know what they're wearing. I'd assume these people wear hats, and maybe they don't wear hats. I don't know what they wear. But how much is it? How much is do you go and ask for the Epstein? Like, is that or versus again, like you need a chef drowned. How much is that? You need a whistleblower taken care of by a gun. It's how much is it? Because I don't want people overspending right now with inflation, cost of living, everything. So it's just, people got to make decisions out there. I don't want people overspending. I'm trying to help you save a buck. Is it just one company that is trustworthy you could go to and they take care of it for you? Is it individuals out there that you got to seek out? Do you put out an ad? Do you put out an ad online asking for people to, and that's the thing. There must be, is it just one person that does that? Because like, I would assume one person did, but like then does anybody stay behind to do the cleanup? You're not getting rid of the body, so I guess no cleanup. So I guess it's just one, maybe two people, I don't know, 2-3 people. Do they get this? Is it you pay one lump sum and then they divide it within the group, within the gang that they're working with, or do you pay them individually? Is it best to give it to one person because like if it's one person, less mouths just talking out there, less info getting around. But if it's like 2-3 people, 4 or 5 people, then it's just like hard to, keep it contained. So I'm just wondering, wet works, where do you get them? How much do they cost? Is it a reliable company that's again been doing this, or is it private, entities who are out there? Is it a private merger with a governmental body out there? Is there like, because that way at least I feel a little bit reassured. I'm like, okay, well, at least it's like, it's a, not officially, but like, at least some sort of, there's rules, regulations, there's protocol, there's, something out there. So I saw that. It's interesting. Let me know what you guys think. And write a comment if you're involved in wet works, if you are involved in doing the hits, if you've been hit on, leave a comment. If you got people that you like to, man, it's out there. Things are wild, man. It's people would just be like, So yeah, we should look at this a little bit more closely. I think it's just curious, is all I'm saying. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this: if you wanna just like get into a little bit of, I I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm just saying, if you want to get into a little bit of tug of war, if you want to get into a little bit of like, let's see who can pull more, let's see who can, before you get into a little bit of tug of war, before you get into the, the first thing you're going to need is rope. You're going to get rope, get people, multiple people, divide them in groups, preferably 2 groups. And then, ooh, what is this? A rope, a tight little rope, and start pulling from opposite ends. Next thing you know, you're building core strength. Next thing you know, you're building a sense of community. Next thing you know, you are getting stronger. Your forearms are getting fucking thick. Next thing you know, you're dropping your hips. Next thing you know, you're leaning back. Next thing you know, you're leaning back on each other. Next thing you know, you're learning to trust once again. Next thing you know, you've let your guards down. Next thing you know, you're making progress. Next thing you know, your team is just fucking killing it out there. Next thing you know, you forget you're even pulling. Next thing you know, you realize you're on the same team. Next thing you know, what are you even playing tug of war for? Next thing you know, we're just sipping on Long Island iced teas and smoking blunts. Next thing you know, we're way past in the AM eating cream cheese and jelly. Next thing you know, we're, it's 6 in the morning and we didn't even sleep last night. Next thing you know, it's already been like 2-3 days that we've been up. Next thing you know, you are all the way down by the harbor. Next thing you know, you're on a ship. Next thing you know, you're on a cruise, man. Next thing you know, we're on a vacation. How long are we staying here? Where are we? I don't know. How did we even get here? Next thing you know, you lose your passport. Next thing you know, you end up in a, foreign jail cell. Next thing you know, you're bribing foreign jail cell officers. Next thing you know, you're attending a court in a foreign country. Next thing you know, man, you're spending time on. Next thing you know, people are breaking you out of that foreign jail. Next thing you know, you're making your way back quietly to wherever you came from. Next thing you know, you're just gonna part ways for a little while just to make sure that everything kind of blows over. Next thing you know, it's been like 6-7 months again, and you're picking up the phone and you're like, hey, remember that one time that we ended up eating a lot of jelly and cream cheese late in the AM? We should do that again. Next thing you know. But, so just have fun out there, and it could easily just start from a little game of tug of war, a little bit of push, a little bit of pull. Who's got my back? Who's got yours? A little bit of just breathing down each other's neck, a little bit of, hey, nice chest hair, a little bit of thank you, and likewise, I like your beautiful cleavage. Next thing you know, hands are being reached in places where you never thought they'd be reaching for. Next thing you know, nuts are in your mouth. Next thing you know, labias being licked. Next thing you know, everybody's having a good time. That's all I'm trying to say. It's Friday. And next thing you know, we could just be doing things because it's Friday. But that's neither here or there, is it? It's neither here or there, is it? Boys and girls, ladies and gents. I'm excited because it is spring. Spring means a little bit of time for us to, shed the weight of winter and bring on the new energies, bring on the new, the sleeping is over. Fall, winter has come and gone, and sleepy time is over. Spring is about to get sprung. It's about to be sprung. It's about to get there. We're about to do it. Yeah. But a lot of things are happening, man. So you should just also be, I've been seeing, I know in a lot of places, theft, crime is a little bit on the rise due to peculiar circumstances that everybody's trying to deal with. There's a couple out there who's just been, making their own little conglomerate, making their own little business, getting people to go out there and forget where they were. It doesn't matter where they were, but they essentially got people to go out there and steal cosmetics, and they brought it over to their place, and they had set up a little shop, and they sell these cosmetics online on Amazon, which is, they got caught essentially. But all I'm saying is people are stealing shit from cosmetics to, I see fast food joints in some places, not here. I've not seen any personally, but here, different places, but overall crime feels like, I don't know if it's just being reported on more or if it's actually being a thing. I I personally do see a little bit more homeless, at least, where I am, more than I used to. Car thefts are a thing, and here in the GTA, at least in Toronto. I don't know, I don't know about like, I did hear, Tim Hortons location here that's relevant to us that got, I forget the location exactly, but like, restaurants are like sometimes closing in their dining areas, it's a little bit, so things that I wish we could possibly do, because I heard like the remedy, they said here, at least in our little jurisdiction, they said a remedy to combat car theft is to leave your car keys closer to your door. That was recommended because they said like people will break into your house and sometimes they'll be having guns. And the best thing you can do is just cooperate and leave your keys close to the door because they just want your car, not you. Which, let's unpack this little. First of all, I'm a little bit taken back from all this. I don't even know what that means. But I'm a little bit, how do you know they don't want me? Not me as in me, but like, how do you know they don't want the person? It is, what if they want the person and not the car? It's not always about materials, is it? It's not always about material possessions and wealth and money and shit. Maybe they do want the person. So you're perpetuating, for one, you're putting doubt on people's mind. Maybe somebody's waiting. Maybe somebody by accident, but on purpose, left their front door open, and maybe somebody was waiting in the nude for somebody else to break in at one point and just have a little bit of a spontaneous get together. Maybe somebody was into that. So for you to put that message out there to be like, no, leave your car keys at the front entrance of your house or whatever, so that they can come and grab the car keys and not you. What if you want to be grabbed? What if all you've been waiting for is to be grabbed? What if you've orchestrated this whole thing so that you could be the one that's being taken? What if you've called a few people to come over and take you? But no, they walk and all of a sudden they see a shiny bright key to a Jaguar or a Mercedes and all of a sudden, these thoughts that are running through their head. Oh, you know what? Change of plans. Chris, I'm sorry it's not going to happen tonight. I see shiny car keys. I'm out the door with your Jaguar, man. So, and then, there's Chris hanging out with, nothing but his birthday suit. And, now what are you going to do? Now you got to sit there and play with your nuts, man. That's fucking sad. So, how do I combat this form of crime? If it's car related, if it's happy, no, I say, contrary to popular belief, put the keys closer to your crotchal region area. At least have a little bit of fun with it. If they're coming in, if they break it, as a matter of fact, once you finish driving around, whatever, like when you finish your tasks during the day and you've come home, instead of hanging your key on a little hook beside the door, or on a little fucking, you got a little whatever, you got a little stand that you place your keys in. While instead of leaving put the key, drop it in your G-string, drop it in your panties, drop it in your boxers. They'll fall through if it's boxers, but if you got briefs, they'll stay put. Put the keys right by your nuts, and if they come in, stick your nuts in their face, man. And you're like, what about if things got violent? What if they didn't? What if you just happen to be playing catch these keys now for about half an hour? What if you placed them elsewhere? As a matter of fact, ladies, it's time to dig deep. It's time to dig deep. As a matter of fact, I was just outside for a little smoke last night. It was raining and the earthworms came out, and I said to myself, my God, all animals have a symbolic meaning. What does the earthworm symbolize? And it said to me, digging deep, when everybody else is asleep, these little bastards are running around helping our grass turn green, helping our the soil be nice and soily for other plants and trees to grow. They're helping out there with fertilizing the earth. So be like the earthworm. Dig deep. When everybody else is sleeping, stay awake. When everybody else is refusing to get a little bit of dirt on their hands, you take all the dirt and rub it all over yourself. And also stick that key in your vag. Stick that key up your butt, sir. Next thing you know, oh, where's the key to the Ferrari? In my asshole, man. Come gets it. If you likes to drive this Ferrari, if you want to love this Ferrari, you gotta come get from the taint. Taint's holding your Ferrari keys, son. You want to make bank? Come get it. Beep, beep. Right there, dude. Short it out. So all I'm saying is do not just lay back and let them come in here and dictate how you're going to be running your life and how you're supposed to deal with certain, because you let bullies walk in on you or walk over you, they'll continue to do it, man. So don't be a victim of the circumstance. Do something about it. Here in Canada, it's different. Our gun laws are a little bit different. I'd say I wish we had. I don't know how it works. It's a little bit trickier than it is in the US. But if that was, but that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. That's why I support it, dude. If you could get it, do it. And I don't know what the laws are, but also it'd be nice to have a little bit of protection. Because if somebody because that's what I think we should bring back a little bit of cowboy policing at least. If we're not gonna, a little bit of cowboy policing. Just a couple of people being lassoed around with a couple of horses that have done crimes. That'll make a nice example. You know what I mean? Just a couple. We need more people on horses, and we need more people with a couple of gats. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? That's what I say. You catch a couple of people taking a couple of cars. If you chase them down on a horse and just wrangle and just get a little just rope and a couple of revolvers on your hips. Just, you know what I mean? Just an old school cowboy chasing a little thief, a little bandito. That'll make a nice example, I think. But, we're in the future now, so let's merge it with the futures. Maybe if not like traditional horses, maybe some sort of like a robot horse. I'm not talking about a dog, an actual robot horse. I'd like to see that happen. A robot horse, because, well, it's obvious their shits are not as big as a regular horse. Because that's one of the biggest reasons why horses are a thing of the past now, because their shits were huge. And I would assume robots take smaller shits. That's just logical. That makes sense to me. Or robot horses probably take digital shits. Maybe it's shits and it's just like zeros and ones. Maybe it's shits in gigabytes. I don't know. But it's easier to clean up. Probably less smelly. No, you can't use it as fertilizer. Could you feed it right back to them? It's information, I think. So, things are looking good. I'm feeling good myself, particularly. It is Friday. And, should you catch yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, I told myself I'll never do that again. Like, for example, you're walking around, you're hiking in a regular hike trail, and you find a beautiful lady or a beautiful gentleman who's got all his or her limbs stuck between bear traps. And these bear traps are extremely large. And it's like, oh my God, help me with these bear traps on my limbs. I got bear traps on all of my limbs, not just one on one leg or anything like that, but all the limbs. I'm talking both hands, both feetsies. Cute little feetsies stuck in bear traps. And they're begging, you're like, help me, man, help me get out of these bear traps. And you're panicking, you're like, what do I do? And the pain is excruciating. And they're like, just rip off my limbs. Just rip off my limbs and free me of these bear traps. So you're like, oh, I can't. And he's like, do it. I got a little bit of a Mickey in my pocket. Take that on and take a hit of this whiskey out here. Get your chest hair fucking ready for this shit. And the next thing you know, you're ripping off a person's limbs just to set them free. And next thing you know, they're like, oh, I got a sewing kit in my backpack. Sew my limbs back onto my body. And next thing you know, you're sewing limbs back to this beautiful individuals' bodies. And that's one of the circumstances you're like, man, I'll never do that again. But life is peculiar. Where you end up is not always how you started. Where you go is not where whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about how you start. It's about where you go. It's not about where you go. It's how you get there. It's not about how you get there. It's a matter of fact of going. It's not. Sometimes you're like looking around and you're like, what's the point of you know what I mean? So it's like, think about that. Just for a second, think about that. And if I could say this also, I'm sick and tired of people coming here and saying, oh man, you gotta check out this restaurant, you gotta come to my bar, you gotta come to this little joint, they sell the best jumbo shrimp. and you're getting excited. You're like, oh yes, jumbo shrimp time, Friday, getting with the boys, with the gals, gonna go have some jumbo shrimp. And you get there, you're excited, you park your car, you walk there, you take the subway, you take your scooter, I don't care, you fly, you get a fucking flying monkey, dude. You fly on a flying monkey's back, you get there, it's jumbo shrimp time. They bring it out and it's just slightly larger than regular shrimp. Disappointed in your mind, you thought that this shrimp is gonna you thought the waitress is gonna, or the waiter is gonna take your order, go through the kitchen door, and that kitchen door is gonna flap open and close, and flap open and close and close and open, and then it just continue flapping open and closing and flippity flap flap. It's one of those flap doors, dude. Flippity flap. And 15 minutes later, while the door is still flipping and flapping, you wished in the back of your mind that you're gonna see this 250-pound jumbo shrimp just fucking pinked out, ready to go. Just come sit down, pull up a stool, sit beside you, lean down, and be like, take a bite out of my traps right here. You're right as talking to you. It's just giant pink shrimp, 250 pounds. You're a little bit scared. Oh man, you soiled yourself, but it's an experience because they said jumbo shrimp, but now you're just working with slightly above average size shrimp, and it's all the talk of the town. But you thought you were going to be able to eat a little bit of this shrimp. Next thing you know, make a little trip at Hotel 6 or whatever, Motel 6 or whatever, or Holiday Inn or whatever, or Days Inn or whatever, or Comfort Inn or whatever, or the back of your car would have been fine too. You thought you're going to eat a little shrimp, and you thought a little shrimp is going to eat you, but nah. Lies, lies, lies. False advertising. It's been great to be here with you today. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you for joining me here today. It's been a great pleasure being with you here today. Where can you find these videos? Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday, every Friday. Dropped on Instagram. Dropped on YouTube. Check out patreon.com/RobSatray so you can fiscally, financially support the show, yeah? Get out of here. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. It's been great to be here with you today. I'll be back here next week, dude. Ladies and gents, slip and slide, have some fun. Love you all. Be good to yourselves. I'll try to do the same, man. Try to do the same. Get out of here. Peace. Bye now.